Hello everyone, my name is Aufal with the last story number 198, and this is my TED Talk. So we've been sold very confident idea that in order to succeed, to stand out, to be seen, we must turn our life into a product. We are told to build a personal brand, to be consistent, to find a niche, and to always present ourselves as something clear and marketable. At first, it sounds empowering. It gave us a direction, structure, even a sense of control over how we are perceived. But beneath that promise, there is a hidden cost. Because what happens when something is as a complex and ever changing as a human? Being a, being is forced to something fixes, something curate, polished, and predictable. What happens is that we don't just organize our life, we begin to edit them slowly. We reshape ourselves to fit an image rather than allowing our image to reflect who we truly are. I know you all of you maybe have a social media, and maybe you guys like to post your achievement or something, and sometimes you feel like you don't proud of yourself. But the problem is simple but deeply human. A personal brand demands consistency. Well, human nature does not. We are meant to change, we grow, we contract ourselves, we explore new idea, and sometimes we outgrow who we used to be. But a brand asks to us to stay recognizable. It asks us to remain the same version of ourselves so others can continue to understand us easily. And without realizing it, we begin creating ourselves into a corner. We start asking different questions, not what do I do want, but does this fit my image? Not what excites me, but will this perform well? These questions seem small, almost harmless, but over time they reshape how we live. We hesitated to try new things if they don't align with our established identity. So we avoid failure because it doesn't look good. We resist change because it might confuse the people watching us. And before we know it, we are no longer just living our life. We are managing them like a full-time public relation job. Every moment becomes something to evaluate, something to frame, something to present. Even our most personal experience are filtered through the lens of how they might be perceived. That constant awareness is exhausting, but but more importantly, it's limiting. When we prioritize our brand ever our being, we lose something essential. We lost the freedom to feel without explanation. We lost the space to change our minds without justification. We lost the right to be dimensional, to be both serious and playful, confident and uncertain, focused and lost at the same time. But the truth is, we were never meant to be simple. So real life is not clean or linear. It is messy, unpredictable, and constantly evolving. And that is not a flow. It is what makes growth possible. So the question is not whether we should have a personal brand. In today's world, they're almost unfathomable. The real question is whether we are in control of our brand, or whether our brand is controlling us, because the moment of our identity become something we feel obligated to maintain. We stop allowing ourselves to explore who we could become, and that is where the real identity crisis begins. So maybe it's time to rethink how we see ourselves. Maybe we are not labels, not niche, not finished products awaiting to be perfect and display. Maybe we are something much more than that. Maybe we just like a still net persist, a process of becoming, of learning, of evolving in ways that cannot always be predicted and narrowly explain it. And processes are not meant to be look always to be look perfect. They are meant to move. So what if instead of trying to be consistent, we try to be honest with ourselves? And then what if instead of trying to be markable, we allowed ourselves to be curious? What if focus less on building brand and more like a building life? And what if we gave ourselves permission to unbrand it, not invisible, not 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 directionals, but free. Free to feel without packaging it, free to change without announcing it, free to grow without needing it to make sense of anyone else. Because in the end, the most authentic version of ourselves is who are we is not to be the one that looks the most consistent. It is the one that is always to be messy, evolving, and beautifully unpredictable. So yes, build your brand if you need to, but navigate the system, use it as a tool, but don't let it define you. Don't let it delimit the person you are still becoming, because once again, you are not brand, and you are a human being, and you deserve to freedom to change. Thank you.